Yeah. We're trying two different views to see what we like better. All right. Hey, my cat-loving friends. Welcome back to this episode of 19 Cats and Counting. Rita and I are so excited. We are talking to Chris Roy, who is the founder of Doobert. He also has a podcast. He's a very busy man, and it's too much to explain in an intro. So you're just going to have to listen to the sponsored ad, and we will be right back to explain what Doobert is all about. Welcome back to 19 Cats and Counting. I am your co-host, Linda Hall, here with my beautiful blonde BFF, Rita Reimers.
I'm newly re-blonded. I saw my hairdresser the other day. So, no, you can't see this on the radio, but you'll see it on the video. You were blonde.
You just had to remove some of the sparkle, the tinsel.
What are you talking about?
Gray hair, honey.
Saying that I have gray hair. I don't have any gray hair. Do you see any gray hair?
I don't me either.
Okay.
Because I colored it 2 days ago.
There you go.
But anyway.
So is that your color, Rita? Yes, I paid for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yes. Like when they used to ask me, "Do I have fake nails? Are those your nails?" They sure are. I paid an arm and a leg for them.
Well, let's talk to our handsome guest. I can't wait.
Let's quit and talk to Chris Roy. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
So, we're happy to have you here.
Yes. We love you because you named your company Doobert after a cat.
So tell us about Doobert.
Won a space right away.
Tell us about the cat, Doobert.
Oh, yes. Of course. What else would I talk about, right? That's why I came on. You know, you could read the story about Doobert, but he was my cat. He was an amazing cat. As I like to say, he wasn't the brightest cat. You know how you've got some that are really sly and smart and others that are just kind of dopey.
I get it.
And that was Doobert. He was a 17-pound dopey cat, orange and white tabby.
And but
he was the most loving old soul, right? You could, my wife and I would fight over who got Doobert. Like we'd go out to dinner, whatever, and you come home and fight over who got Doobert because he would climb up and lay on your chest and just warm you up, and you would just slowly fall asleep into this deep slumber. And he was, like I said, he wasn't the smartest cat, but he was the most loving cat. And had to let him go a number of years ago. But when I was building the site, I could think of no better tribute than to name it after him. And it's still, when I first came out with it, people are like, is that like Scooby-Doo? Is that like Dilbert? But now there's about 400 to 500 people a month that search for the word Doobert on Google. So
wow,
that's proud awesome. To know that,
That's a very cool thing. You're continuing your cat's legacy, and I can see and hear from you when you talk about Doobert. He's what I like to call a soul cat. He's just, I love all my cats.
Yep.
I love all my cats.
Me too.
But there are occasionally those that just worm their way into your soul and leave an imprint that's just stronger than anybody. And
I'm lucky I've had two. I had my Sadie that I wrote my book about, Sadie's Heart.
Yep.
And I have my new heart cat, Sweetie Pie.
Yes. She is an adorable little girl, but she is mama's spoiled baby. She's that kid, that favored kid, and she knows it.
Oh, they know. They absolutely know.
The other cats know it too, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody knows who she is. Yeah. She's got that. So from Doobert, we have Doobert.com.
Yep.
And tell us, because this is the coolest thing. You took lots of things that we love, and we would have talked to the people that do those things, and you found a way to put this all together to work more efficiently for cats. So explain away.
All right. Well, I'm a technology guy in my day job, right? So that's, I love tech. I love what we can do with tech. And my whole concept when I was originally doing Doobert was simple. If I can save animal rescuers more time, I know what they're going to do with the time. They're going to save more animals. And that literally was my premise. And I personally have done transports for years. I'm a pilot. That's my other hobby. And that's kind of how I got into transport. Yeah. And what I learned, people started sharing my name, and I would get calls from literally all over the country. I'm like, I live in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I can't fly to California, to fly up to Seattle, to fly back to Green Bay. Like, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, there's got to be like an Uber for rescue animals. There's got to be an app. There's got to be a way that we can do this. And when it didn't exist, I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to build it. So I like to tell people that Doobert does a number of things. It's kind of like a volunteer-based Uber for rescue animals. So whether it's dogs
I knew
or
that was coming.
cats. Finally, as we were talking about, there hasn't been a lot of transports initially with cats, but now we're getting a lot more of them, which is great.
Yes.
So dogs or cats, and we've got all sorts of other rescues. We have bird rescues, rabbit rescues. We have a rat rescue.
Wow, a rat rescue? Holy cow.
Yeah, I know. And to me, it's like, maybe that wouldn't be my first choice of pets, but I don't judge, right?
But if that's who they love and that's their spiritual animal connection, then let's help them out with the rats.
They are sentient beings, and that's the way I look at it. And, there's more wildlife. And so the whole idea is that you can sign up as a volunteer. It's free, right? And you basically fill out a profile. You put in where you live, right? So your zip code, how far of a radius around your zip code you want to be notified of transport opportunities. And then the system does the work, right? So when a rescue or shelter is trying to transport an animal, when they log in, they basically, create new transport, and they're going from here to here. The system automatically plots it on Google Maps and then automatically determines which volunteers are most appropriate based upon that radius that you made.
Wow.
And notifies you. And then you can sign up to be a volunteer on that transport.
This is amazing.
What's really cool is that, people think, maybe 100 miles or something. No, we've got some transports every week. We're talking 2,000-mile transports. They do 25, 30 volunteers strung in a line over 3 days. They'll have overnights, and it's, as I say, it may not be the most efficient way to move animals, but you know what? Dagnammit, they're doing it.
Yeah,
and it works.
And it's the best. And we've seen that, how many times have we seen a post of somebody that wants to rehome an animal and somebody says, oh my gosh, I wish, unfortunately, I live in Texas, and I think, I would gladly drive from here to, Indiana or whatever, but I'm not driving all the way, and I don't know anybody in that state who will then pick up the cat. Years ago.
I worked in rescue for years and finding transport. In fact, I had a cat, Pickles, that I was in LA at the time, somebody in Georgia wanted her, and trying to find a transport to Georgia was tough. I ended up keeping her, but that's a whole nother story.
Rita's a famous foster failure, unfortunately. But there was a cat being shown near where Rita was, being publicized over and over, and just the sweetest cat. Rita wanted to take this cat so bad, but she was really at her limit. So she started sending me pictures of this cat. So I had to look into its eyes and feel bad. And he had FIV, so nobody wanted him. And so finally they wore me down, and I said, fine, I will take the cat, but I am not coming to the Carolinas soon. I am in Ohio. So how are you going to get him here? Well, it just so happens one of her volunteers was an airline attendant, and she had a cousin in Toledo, less than an hour from me, who just happened to be having a graduation party this weekend in June. So she flew standby and I named him Kismet because he was obviously meant to be mine, and we got Kismet to us. But not everyone has a volunteer who's an airline attendant.
Right.
So,
and that's the idea. I mean, now we have there's over 35,000 volunteers that have signed up, literally all across the U.S. and into Canada. And then so from there, I kept building on it, right? So now you can be a foster. So as you both know, having foster failures.
Oh, yes.
Great way to get animals out of the shelter. Great way to do your part. If you can't permanently keep them.
Exactly.
A foster could be weeks, it could be months, it could be whatever, right? Sometimes it's just an overnight foster, emergency foster. There's so many ways. And again, there was no easy way for people to do this. You would have to go sign up with every shelter or every rescue individually.
That's true.
Right. And so my premise instead is, why don't I let you create a profile and then let the organizations contact you, and you decide who you want to work with. I'm not deciding for you.
Right.
I've actually had people say that. They're like, well, we only want these requests to go to, these or our volunteers. I'm like, they're not. Volunteers are people that love animals, that want to help.
Yes.
Right? So, let's let them decide if they want to
create cat cliques, shall we? That's separate little, yes. Well, and we've pushed fostering. So Rita and I have both discussed, we're not old, but
we're older.
We're 55 and 60. 20. So, when we think about, I will not adopt a tiny kitten at 55. I don't know what I'm going to be at 75, what kind of shape I'm going to be in, and so we talk about, as our herds naturally thin. You know, what do you do when you get older? What a cool thing to do if you were a senior and you didn't want to take on a full
foster.
responsibility.
Mhm.
We've also suggested it to people that, you know, I just don't know if I want a cat.
Right.
Let me tell you how you can have a trial run.
Try it out.
Yes. And
Or
if you fall
somebody
in love
has
with
a cat that's a little bit, they don't know if he'll accept another cat. So foster one.
yes.
And if they get along, you can adopt the cat.
Adopt. Yes. And we'll get another.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes. And, you know, the more cats we get out of the shelters and rescues, the more cats they can take in.
Yeah.
I've personally been at my favorite rescue when they've had to turn away a cat because they've been at capacity. So if
Yeah.
you can get into a home to foster for a little while, they can save that cat.
Yeah, particularly as we get out of winter and into spring, for those of us
Mhm.
that celebrate winter.
Yeah.
You know, we head into kitten season. And in a lot of places in the US, kitten season is all year round.
Yes.
That's where I
there's-
am.
Yeah, okay. So,
Carolina.
yeah,
South
so then
Carolina,
you know,
yeah.
like there's always a need for fosters, right? Kitten
Yes.
fosters. I mean, you can think about it. You get to play with kittens all day. Like, what better? What
I
better
know,
use of your
right?
time?
Yes. Well, and respite, like imagine the single person who gets COVID and has to be in the hospital for a week,
Sure.
since COVID is the prevalent at the moment, but for anything, you know, who's taking care of my kitty, have somebody
Mhm.
foster and do respite care. I mean, there's so many ways that you can foster and help out. And you're helping, especially when you take kittens, you're helping to socialize them so they will fit better in their forever home. So you're doing another benefit there.
That's
Yep.
a true
Yes.
story, because right out of the shelter, a lot of them have never lived in a home environment.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
know what to expect, right? So if you can
Yes.
socialize them, you're exactly right. If you could socialize
right.
them early
Yes.
to be, you know, friendly to humans and understand that humans are not all bad, then
Yeah.
that's what they need.
Yeah. Yeah. Re-identify us from predator to family. Tell everybody cats have three
Yes.
categories. They don't see species. You are either predator, prey, or part of my social structure.
That's the truth.
So like, oh, human, you're too big to be my prey. I'm going
Right.
to hang out under this bed until I decide which of the other two categories.
And then
you
for
fit
some of our
into.
cats, then they become princesses. I'm just saying, you know.
Sweetie Pie. Yeah. Literally, she has a Facebook page called Princess Sweetie
No.
Pie.
Princess
So-
Sweetie Pie, yeah. She's the only cat that I ever set out to adopt, because I took in Simba and he was so high energy. He was a single cat, and my other cats are older and they loved him, but he was wearing them out. So I said, look, he needs a playmate that's around his age. So I went out looking, and one of my rescue friends said, we have this one over here in foster and they're having a hard time keeping her occupied. So I said, that's my kitty. That was
That's
Sweetie
go.
Pie.
Simba's playmate. Yeah. Yeah. That was Sweetie.
I didn't know
Yeah.
she'd become my favorite, and that she'd be my heart and soul, but she is.
Yeah. She would have sworn to you before that no one would ever, that was Sadie's role.
Yeah,
her
that
first
was
cat,
Sadie.
and no one would ever, she told me that. And I went, you see what happens?
I got
Yeah.
lucky.
You got to have a favorite, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. You know, yeah. As parents, we're supposed to convince everyone that we don't have favorites, but
My favorite, really my favorite is whoever's on my lap at the moment.
well, yeah.
This
Yeah.
is true.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's a special affinity for, yeah. So you are connecting all these areas. And I mean, we have tremendous respect for anyone who fosters. We have tremendous respect for people who transport. We have tremendous respect for shelters and rescues. You are
Sure.
connecting them and making their jobs easier. And it's not an easy job. So we're just blown away.
Talk about not an easy job. We have to take a very small break. I know, right when we get to the good stuff. I know. But
All
our
right.
awesome sponsors, we need to give them a minute. So we'll be right
yeah.
back. And we're back. 19 Cats and Counting with my awesome co-host Linda Hall and our special guest Chris Roy, who has created a very unique website named after his kitty Doobert. And we are talking about all the wonderful things that he's offering the world of rescue.
Yes. And so people can sign up on your site to participate in these things. So what
Absolutely.
do they do? Let's give a shout out to who you need, what you need them to do, and how they accomplish
Yes,
it.
let's talk about that.
All right. Well, obviously they just go to Doobert.com. There's a big button that says sign up. And I know there's a dog looking at the button and I need to get a cat out there. I know.
No problem.
We
Just
didn't
pointing that out.
notice. We didn't even notice.
No, did you
Duly
notice
noted.
that?
We're equal, animal. We love
Yes.
dogs and cats
Yes.
and
We
rats and
do.
rabbits.
Yes.
But it's all automated, right? So you just click the big sign up button. You can, use your email and password, and you can put your mobile phone in there and stuff like that. And then you get all the profiles. So you can decide how you want to participate. So if you say, hey, listen, I can't do transport, or I don't have a car or whatever, no problem. Just go turn on the foster one. Or maybe you can only do foster and not transport, or, like whichever way you want
Right.
to go.
Right.
This system is fully automated. So you can build out your profile, and then you'll automatically get notified for transports that match your criteria or for foster requests that match your criteria. Everything is opt-in, right? So I don't sign you up magically, right? You get to still decide, does that work, right? So even though there might be a transport coming your way this Saturday, you may say, oh, I'm not going to be in town this Saturday.
Yeah.
No problem. So you can see where the transport's going from and to, what the leg of the journey is that you would be covering. You could see the pictures of the animals, sometimes the stories of the animal. It depends on how much they put in.
Right.
So, it's such a rewarding experience. We have some volunteers, believe it or not, I get these weird complaint emails from time to time where they go, I just want to complain that this person takes the leg every single time before I can get to it.
Oh,
and I'm like,
what an awesome problem to have.
I know, right?
Right.
Thank you.
Who makes sure every leg is filled and make sure that the people doing the handoffs meet at the right places?
Yeah.
Well, so the system helps to break it down into legs, and then we allow either the volunteers or the transport coordinator to designate the meeting location, right? So they know exactly where they're going to meet.
Yes.
So people often ask, they'll say, how long does it take to plan a transport? I always say, give it 2 weeks, because depends on how far you're going. But exactly to your point, Rita, is that, the system will post it and we'll automatically notify, from our database, but that doesn't guarantee that every leg's going to magically fill.
Right.
So we always encourage people to still use your networks, right? Either people that or post it on Facebook. There's all sorts of transport groups on Facebook. So what we find is that, usually the first push out, they can fill like 25, 30% of the legs, right? And then they start doing some posting and sharing, and then it slowly, can get filled. More transports happen on the weekends, particularly in the winter months, right? Than during the weekdays, just because there's more people available. During the summer, with a lot more people off, there's obviously more opportunities during the week.
Yeah.
But we find, the best way, I always tell people, get a regular route going, right? Get some regular set of volunteers. And if you're running a transport once a month, twice a month on a Saturday, people will start to block it on their calendar, right? They'll be prepared for it.
Yeah.
Right.
So that it's not, every event doesn't have to be like a last minute scramble. It's more of a regular thing. And then just putting the animal on the transport. So, and then, people, the other question everybody always asks me, well, what if a volunteer doesn't show up? And I say, listen, I can count on one hand in 7 years the number of times a volunteer didn't show up. And on 4 out of those 5, it was something, car accident, like things that
water
are
broke.
Yeah,
there are things you
right? People that do this they're volunteers, right? They're volunteering their time, their vehicle.
And they're dedicated.
And they care. And if that's your reasoning. So let me ask you a question, because I had a thought. So like I go visit Rita, I don't know, 4 or 5 times a year, more if I can. And so I am in Northwest Ohio going to South Carolina, about an hour past Charlotte, North Carolina. And so if I know that I'm taking a trip to see Rita, I'm leaving on June 4th. Can I go on Doobert.com and see if anybody needs in my route, like from here to Columbus to West Virginia to Virginia to, is there somebody in there where I can stop on my way and grab a cat and drop it off somewhere? I'm driving there anyway.
Yeah. See, so now you're speaking my language. So absolutely, we have that capability. So they're called, for a volunteer, you're putting in my trip, right? So you're putting in where you're going from and to, and then we make that information available to the organizations.
Nice.
I always tell people I have like an Expedia-like search, right? So the organizations can literally say, I'm trying to go from, say, Chicago to Florida. And the system will go, oh, well, Linda here is going from here to there. And it'll show them all the different routes and things that are relevant to where that animal's trying to go from and to. So we try and give them the tools to kind of cobble together the transport.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
So that if it doesn't already exist, because then all they have to do is they have to say, they could make a volunteer leg for the first part to get to where you are, and then the last part on the other end, right? So they can put you in the middle and only have 3 legs.
Yeah.
That's
Or, you know,
great.
if
I would have
if-
never thought of that, Linda. That's
yeah,
really
if you
awesome.
had a cat in West Virginia going to South Carolina, I got this one. You can all step back. I'm on my way anyway. Well, I guarantee you,
ladies
Chris, I am
you
going
ladies are
to
gonna be
do
like me.
this.
Every time I'm driving down the road, I'm looking at all these cars and going, "You should all be carrying animals. Every single one of you." I don't know where you're going.
Exactly.
true.
Never occurred to me. Like,
But even
I'm
when you
going
leave
anyway.
here to go
Well,
back.
then I don't stay. My husband makes me come back.
Darn
But
it.
it's warmer there. It's 56 there, and we're in the middle of
Well, I think it's
Snowmageddon
probably
right now.
gone down
So,
now. Let me see.
well, what has
Hey,
it gone down
It's
to?
55 now.
50. Oh, yeah. Well,
Sorry.
it's 13 right now up here in Green
Oh.
Bay, and we're happy that it's a positive 13.
Right?
So
Yeah, it was like 30 something the other day, and I told my daughter, "Where's her shorts?" So
I grew up in Buffalo, so believe me, I've had my share of snow, and I
she's
don't
just
miss
smart
it.
enough to get away from it. But yeah, I think I'm putting a challenge out there to everybody who's listening. You're going on a trip,
Yes.
plug it in there. You're going anyway.
Doobert.com.
Yeah. And you know what? If your kids are driving you nuts on a long car ride, sticking a cat in the back with them might just help you out.
Yeah, they'll be focused on the kitty, right?
I've raised kids. I get it.
Or a dog. I'm sure
Play
there's
with the
dogs
cat,
that need
yeah.
transport.
Well,
too.
yes. We're so
well, of
cat
course,
friendly.
I mean, dogs.
We're
Yeah.
I know
We're
down
such-
south here, we in the wintertime especially, a lot of dogs and cats get transported up north, especially kittens, because you don't have kittens in the winter up north, and we have plenty.
Yeah.
Boy, do we have plenty.
Take some of ours. Well, there you go. My next trip. I'm telling you, I'm doing this. You got me on this. You got me recorded saying this. I am doing
I know,
this.
right? I'm
Because
gonna be looking for your profile on there,
you
Linda.
you're gonna find it, Chris, because I'm telling you, it's ridiculous that drives get boring.
If I had a better car, I'd put mine out there too.
She doesn't go anywhere.
I drive
but
a
yeah.
16-year-old that needs fixing up. She's going to be a
Yeah.
classic when I have the money to
She's
fix
a
her
pretty
up.
red convertible, though. I'm excited. You and I are going to Thelma and Louise it one of these days. But anyway, well, not to the end.
I had to get rid of my
Not
good
the
car
end
during
part.
COVID.
No.
So
That's bad.
We'll stop short of the end. But so volunteers, fosters, and they can pick their, I can only foster for a limited amount of time. I do not wish to foster a kitten. That's too much energy.
you have 11 cats. You don't need a kitten.
Oh, no, please. My husband, I'm glad my husband can't hear me because he'd be like busting through. What are you talking about?
Right. No more cats. Well, and then the best part is we provide the tools so the foster can really help with I like to call the fosters adoption ambassadors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So when a foster has got a profile and the shelter connects, kind of connects with them, they can share the animal profile, and then that foster can now post pictures and videos. We've created like an Instagram feed for that foster animal that the foster is actually posting on. And then any inquiries, though, still go back to the shelter so that you're not, managing that piece of it. But particularly, as you both know, with cats, I mean, a picture of a cat's wonderful, but a video is so much better when they're doing those goofy, fun things.
A zillion %. And seeing the personality, you don't know if that cat just ate a sofa. Yeah, personality. You don't know what that cat just destroyed by that sweet face. I want to see this cat in action. Yeah.
People they like video, and I worked in rescue for years. I volunteered in LA with the Petco adoption events for Save a Life Rescue. They like video if they're not going to see the cat in person, and they like stories. They want the cat to have a name and a story.
Yes. Yeah. That backstory makes
Dogs
all the difference.
too.
Yeah.
Name
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's what people, when we're trying to get animals adopted out, that's what we want to know. Like, you want to feel that personality with the cat. So again, pictures are great, but videos are better, and telling, what do they like and what do they not like, and what are the fun and goofy things they do, and how they, they come sleep under your chin and warm you up, and all the things.
Yeah, that cat that she just loves to snuggle me. Yeah, that kind of stuff. I made the mistake. So there are also on your site animals up for adoption, which is amazing. So you can browse through and find your animal. So I stupidly went to the cat site. No better than to do this. And I had like 5 of them picked out that just had to come home with me, but my husband will leave me. So
we don't want that. Yeah. Well, but then you could move down with Rita. I don't know,
That's
maybe.
true.
We've actually discussed that.
He already says she's my work wife and that he shares me with her. So, he's got it figured out. But, I would like to foster someday. And I will tell you, if anyone is considering fostering, if you are somebody that has experience with needle meds and things, I'm sure that is a huge boon. Running the pet sitting service, we had a lot of cats that needed asthma inhalers, a lot of cats that B12 injection, diabetes need insulin, sub-Q fluids, yes. And some sitters just weren't comfortable with needle meds. So we occasionally had a hard time filling some of those slots. So I'm sure, if you've got a cat that is diabetic or whatever, now you got to find a foster that's willing to do needle meds. So I'm sure that is extra in demand, knowing the cat world.
Which I do know how to do.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I know. Oh, I'm losing my mic. I got so excited. I know how to do these things. What a cool thing when my herd is a little thinner to foster a cat that needs, a little bit of extra medical help.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or older cats. Sometimes people don't want older cats, and hospice cats. There's so many.
Those are the ones I
different
want.
ways you can get involved. I mean, think about
those
it.
are the ones. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so sad, right? These animals get dropped off, and they're nearing the end of their life, and it's like, oh, the last thing you want is for them to die alone.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And I will tell you personally, as much as, who doesn't love a kitten? It's a kitten.
Right.
It's like crack. It's a kitten. But to live with me, I don't want that tiny little thing hanging off
Not
the curtains and
anymore.
sipping all over the place. And, no, I'm too old for this stuff, honey.
Me too.
I want, and when you get a kitten, you don't know what their personality is going to end up like. I want that older cat. And I like my favorite rescue. She'll ask you questions like, on the ornery scale between 1 and 10, 1 being a couch pillow and 10 being play with me 24/7. I'm a Bengal. Where would you like this cat to fall? And I
2.
love that.
I want a 2.
1, 2.
3 to 4. I want to be able to play once in a while, but
in the 5 or 6 range.
But I want the lap kitty and the kitty that lays beside me while I work, because I'm on the computer from home a lot. But I do want play breaks. So and but you don't know with a kitten what you're getting. With an adult cat, personality set. You ask the person who's fostered them or the people working in the rescue about that cat. They will tell you exactly what to expect from that cat.
That's true.
That's
a true story.
Are you watching movies with popcorn every night? This is the cat for your lap right here.
Linda went to adopt, and she was looking at cats at Friends of Feline Rescue Center in Defiance, Ohio. Yeah. She would look at a cat and then they would tell her, no, you don't want that cat. What are you looking for? You don't want that cat.
You don't want that one?
So they'd be able to work with you to
find
a cat that fits in with your lifestyle.
Yes. My son decided one year that was all he wanted for his birthday. He was like 10th or 11th then. And so it was to adopt a cat. So, we talked and okay, fine. And so we'd been watching the cats on their kitty cam, and we had it was just a beautiful, beautiful cat. So we fell in love with this cat because of its looks. This is how shallow of us. And we went in and we told Jackie, we're really interested in so-and-so. And she's like, no, you're not. This is not the cat for your home. Okay, who will fit in our home? Okay, take me to meet them. So
yeah, you tell me.
Yes, exactly. You tell me who's fitting into my household the best.
So, Chris, how do rescues get their cats listed on your website?
So, same thing. So the system is smart enough when you click the join us button, sign up. Mm-hmm. It'll say just me or my organization. So if you're a rescue or a shelter and you want to sign up, same process. It's obviously 2 different sides of the system. So
definitely
when they go in there, they can actually add the animal profiles and they can make them public or private. So we allow them, certainly they can maintain it secretly in their own organization, or they can make them public.
Right.
And if they're public, then that's when we display them on there. We've got lots of different features that, we can share them with other organizations, because sometimes animals need to go just like B2B, right? Like organization to organization, because maybe they can't be adopted out for some particular reason. Mm-hmm. But it's really designed to make their lives easier so that they can save more animals. So very easy. They just go sign up. It's free. They can go sign up as well.
That's amazing. Nice. That is awesome. So, I just can't believe what you're doing. It's amazing. It's solving a problem that I never really thought much about. Well, I know, again, FFRC, my local rescue, that is my rescue. They have watchers on their kitty cam from all over the world, Germany, and so, if somebody in Utah wants the cat in Defiance, Ohio, then they're, let's see when you line up. And I know they, reach out to transport people and try to, but let Doobert do your work for you, sweetie.
Right?
Sure. There used to
we'd
be a
happy to.
there used to be an
Yes.
underground kitty railroad network or
Sure.
something like that on Facebook, and it was trying to do what you're doing, but not in a structured way. And I think that what you've done is put some structure around it to help people really get these cats where they need to
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean,
Yeah, you're exactly right. And that's like, to me, in animal rescue, it's like we all got to bring our gifts, right? What can we do? And my gift is technology. So if I can bring my technology gift, I'm not the one on the front lines. I love all of the rescues and shelters that are doing the hard
Yes.
work. I'm behind a computer, right? So, but to me, if I can bring this and help them to be more efficient,
Yes.
that's what warms my heart, is knowing that we're
Yes.
supporting all these people and doing their hard work.
That's
you
important.
are literally, yes, you are, every time somebody fosters because of Doobert, you've made
I
room
know.
for one more cat in the rescue. I mean, that's like, I'm going to choke up over this, but
I know.
and the foster, I can't tell you how many posts I've seen that, oh, I wish I was in Utah. I live in Texas. I'd like take
Right.
that cat.
I
Got
know.
the answer. Go to Doobert.com. I mean, and now that cat has gotten adopted as opposed to,
Yeah.
we don't know what. I mean, you are literally saving lives here.
Yeah, we've been a part of saving over 15,000 lives, which is pretty cool.
I can't wait to tell some of the rescue people that we know about this,
Yeah,
like
please.
Cynthia
Yes,
and
yeah.
That's what I tell people.
Texas.
I've no money to
Yes.
spend on marketing, so I need some marketing here.
Yes, you got it. You got it, honey. Yes.
You have a Facebook page,
Of course.
Instagram, all of the above.
Of course. Yep. YouTube
all
channel.
Doobert, right? YouTube,
Put in
all of
Doobert and you'll
that.
find you. Okay.
Yeah,
that's
just
awesome.
type Doobert. Like I said, you go into Google, type Doobert, and you'll find the website. You'll find
Awesome.
all of our channels. Or we don't do much on Twitter, so for those of you that do Twitter, we don't
I'm
do
the
much
same
there.
way. I don't
But-
know.
I have a Twitter too. I don't do as much. That seems
Yeah.
to be more celebrity driven.
Yeah.
than
Nobody
But
cares
anything.
about my
definitely,
tweets.
yeah, Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, and yeah.
We'll put all the
Yes.
links below the video
Yes.
when we post this on
Yes.
YouTube.
Yes. And we're going to blast this out because you are doing amazing work. Just the fact that you thought of it and connected it. And see, I'm not a technology person. Okay. My
I am.
technology guy is my son who turned 17 yesterday, who
Ah,
then rolls his eyes and is like, gives me that look like, you're so stupid, Mom. But he wouldn't say it. He's a very good boy, but you can see it in the eyes. But I'm
Well,
like,
technology changes so fast. I have a computer science degree. I worked in IT for 22 years, but some of this new stuff, it takes me a minute to catch on.
yeah.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
often
it's
hear her
constantly changing. It's fun because we can dream up new ideas.
It is
but
fun.
It's hard. I mean,
Mhm.
I just tell people it takes 3 times as long as I want it to, at least.
I know.
All the stuff I want to do, I can't do it. You got to pace yourself, right? There's only so much you can do, but it's been a journey. I'm excited to see what we're going to build next.
It's
Oh, me
just
too. I love
amazing.
your site. Do you have any future plans or wishes that you're thinking of adding to the site?
Maybe. So we just rolled out our case management software, as a lot of shelters are now more focused on community-based sheltering and
Right.
they call it shelter prevention, trying to provide resources and answers to people so they can keep their pets in their home.
Sure.
Yes.
So we built a module around that does, they can do 2-way text messaging. So it's the only platform that lets them do that.
Yeah.
nice.
So, really I'm never short of ideas. It's just trying to get the funding. And so
Yeah.
that's the
Exactly.
way-
Yeah. I was going to say, I mean, I'm already thinking of, I've got plans for you if you want to talk later. No, because I'm thinking, my cat has FIV. I want to go on
Sure.
Doobert and say, who is the vet closest to me that someone can attest to is great
Sure.
with FIV animals. I want that vet. Behaviorists, I'm constantly harping, our listeners are not going to plug my ears. 134,400
400.
cats
Yep.
are surrendered to U.S. shelters every year because of behavior issues. And we can fix that. And those are the first cats.
Totally.
Hi, Dexter. Sorry, Rita's cat pops up. I have cat ADD, squirrel. And so, we can fix those things.
Yeah.
And those cats, and they're often the first ones to be euthanized because, as I love to say, no one ever walked into a shelter and said, "You got any cats who'll pee on my bed? I need one of
Right.
those." No. And then Rita always says, "I do," and it's true. She goes in and is like, "Who's your hardest cat to play
Yeah.
with?"
Who's the hardest one?
I
Right.
got this cat. Yeah.
Not
this is my
anymore.
cat.
I'm full for a while. I have
Yeah.
quite a few seniors now So I'm facing higher vet bills and more
Sure.
care. So I
Yes.
really can't split myself any further than the 18 I've got.
Well, and didn't you lose like 7 in 2021? I mean, that was insane. 5,
That's a
7,
lot.
something like that. Yeah.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot. But then I took in more seniors.
Yeah.
Seniors have
keeps
my
those
heart.
stuff.
Those are the ones that he's not a senior. He showed up at my door. But the
And you
last
welcome
few
them in
adoptions
anyway.
have been seniors.
Yeah, Rita manifested both of those
I
problems
did.
herself
I did.
because she posted on Facebook that she lost 2 cats. So pretty soon the phone rings and it's a shelter saying, "Here,
We
you
have
got
2
slots."
cats,
I
2
was gonna say,
seniors.
got
they
2
went, "Oh, we hear
seniors.
you've got openings."
That was the truth. So she went and got
They're
Missy and
here.
Scooter. They were 15. Their mom had died. Their human had died. And
Yeah.
they were languishing in the shelter. They weren't going to euthanize them, but they weren't going to make
Sure.
it. So
But they
it was
weren't
just too
doing
much
well.
for them.
They were
So,
languishing.
yeah. And you've
They're
had
doing
them at least a
great
year now. Yeah. And so then she said after Scooter and Missy, that's it.
Well,
I'm not
after
bringing-
Sunny passed.
after Sunny passed, I am not bringing another cat unless it appears at my door. So we're doing a behavior session one day and she goes, "There's a cat on my deck," which is why we named him Dexter. I got to name him actually.
Deckster.
He was on the deck.
Dexter. Get it?
His name
Nice.
must be Dexter. So,
Yeah, he was 6 months old, and I don't know where he came from, or if somebody just put him out there or what, but it was a week after Sunny passed. He came in the house, and he's never left.
and he just, he was
No more.
socialized, but we know he'd never been inside because he had a little freak out when she turned the TV on.
Yeah, he didn't know what that was.
Yeah, all that movement and flashing lights and sound.
Yes,
and, yeah.
yes. And he had to be taught to use a litter box, but he's just a gem, just a doll of a cat. So yeah,
He's very gentle and very laid back, and all the other cats love him.
yes.
We got really
He's
lucky,
found
but
his-
no,
he's found his forever home. That's amazing.
Exactly. Yeah. You never know how they come into your life, right? Every cat's got a story, and
They do.
and you are an integral part of so many stories. Like, I will never forget the airline hostess that brought my cat to me, or, these
Yep.
are the people that bring us this love and this joy, and you're making all of that possible.
Well,
So
Yeah, you can see all
awful
those
is-
pictures too, by the way. So if you go out on the site, like you can see the success stories, and
I love
we
that.
love celebrating our
Good.
volunteers and the amazing work they do. So,
that's
Make sure-
wonderful.
we're actually running out of time. I hate
Ugh.
oh
Okay.
no,
I hate it.
Are.
So we're all going to Doobert.com.
Yes.
We are all signing up to
That's
foster or
right.
transport or do whatever we
you
can.
do.
Do you because I know this is not a money
Spread
making
the
venture
word.
for you. Do you accept donations to support your
Oh,
cause?
yeah.
Maybe I'm
Absolutely.
too ill to drive and I can't
Yeah.
foster right now.
yeah,
I can
so
give you some money.
certainly we love people that are willing to give donations. 100% of it goes into the platform.
I love it.
And I always tell people to spread the word. I mean, the way I fund Doobert is we build other people's websites and apps and things that they want.
Wonderful.
And then we use the proceeds to
Let's
fund
mark
Doobert.
you.
So-
Let's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, if you need something,
We're
the
gonna
man
need-
came up with an idea, built the whole thing himself, and has saved all these cats. I think he can handle what you've got for him. Just saying.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we can. We've
Yeah, I
done
think
some
so.
pretty cool projects. And
create-
Every
created
now and
that.
then a pet sitter will come and say, who can do my website? Well,
Sure.
now we know, and
Now
now
you
I
know.
know for our future expansions,
Yes.
we would
yes.
love to have an app.
We'll get you out
Uh,
there. And
we'll
we'll tell
definitely
them not
keep you in
only are you
mind.
getting this amazing person who did all this and you can see what he's done,
Yeah,
but you're helping save animals by helping him to continue what he's
100%.
doing.
that's right.
that's right.
So,
It's a pay it forward.
What an amazing. We
So-
adore you. You're awesome.
Thank you.
You need to let us know if you create something new, do something, need a shout out, you let us
need to come
know you're back on the podcast, because I could go for hours.
I
So,
know. We actually need to wrap it up. I hate it, but
I know.
please come back. Please come back soon.
I will.
Yes,
And
yes,
In the meanwhile, we will spread the word about Doobert,
definitely.
Doobert.com.
Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you, Linda, for always being my co-host.
Always, you're stuck with me.
And BFF and work wife or whatever. Chris Roy will be
Exactly.
seeing a lot more of you, and I know we'll be counting on you for some tech help.
Yeah.
And of
course.
course, I can't forget to thank the awesome Mark Winter, who created Pet Life
Patience.
Radio. And I just can't thank him enough for giving us our platform.
He's amazing and has the patience of a saint.
He really, really does. Thank you so much. And remember, every day's Catter Day. We'll see you next time.